the last night on the island was both like calm and special at the same time. So I think the guest that night was Casper's wife. Casper's wife had decided to come over and spend a few days. She was going to work from the island remotely. So because the Airbnb was empty, she could go during work hours down there and log in and connect to her meetings. And it was a bit of a spontaneous decision, I think, but I take it as an indicator that Casper felt totally comfortable with the idea that his wife would be joining us, Mina and I, in the same space. And I think normally he would have only felt comfortable if it was just him, but because I think he felt very comfortable with Mina and myself, that he was okay with inviting his wife. And so it was actually very pleasant to meet Casper's wife. It was also the night of the Euro Cup final, which is maybe the largest soccer event in the world. It's arguable whether Euro Cup attracts more people and energy and money than the World Cup, but either way, it's the European country equivalent of the World Cup, which is sort of the hotbed of all the good players. And so people get pretty excited about it, and they got excited enough to figure out how to project the final game on a large projection screen inside of Casper's house. And so that was going to happen at, I forget what time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And so we had dinner, and dinner was lovely. I really don't remember what that dinner was and how it differed from the others, but I think we had a smoked fish again. And I'm trying to remember what else we might have had that. I think we had open-faced sandwiches again, and a salad, and new potatoes. They do a lot of new potatoes. And might have had some fresher, like asparagus or something. But anyway, it was delicious. Very, very summery, barbecuey, island cottage kind of a dinner. And since Mina and I had paddled all day, she had sworn that we were going to do the sauna. So there was this whole rigmarole about lighting the sauna, and I didn't know how to do anything to help. So I was just kind of like this hapless victim that was giving thumbs up, like, yes, sauna. And Casper was finally convinced by his wife, I think, to go down and light the sauna. And after watching him, I went down because I wanted to know how to do it. And after watching him, I could have easily done it. But that takes 45 minutes to an hour to warm up. And then, so when that was warmed up, I went down and sat in the sauna because I was ready to get that sort of part done so that I could watch the Euro Cup final. And Mina was busy chatting and cleaning up and organizing the house. Even though Casper's wife had shown up, Mina had sort of adopted this role of, I forget the name, she used some term, Hausfrau. It was like a German term for somebody who sort of cleans up and tidies up and does things around the house. So she had taken on that role, and so she was fully committed to that. And I finally said, I'm going to go down to the sauna and I'm going to start my sauna experience. And she said, okay, I'll meet you down there. And I was down there a good half an hour, 45 minutes. And honestly, by the time she showed up, I was exhausted and cooked by the sauna. But I'd also not been doing it right because I didn't have my guide and my expertise. And so she had to start me at ground zero and start over, showing me how to apply the heat and, the steam. There's this whole process for taking water and throwing it from where you're seating. There's a whole thing. You have to like take the ladle and put it in the bucket and like flick the water at the stove. And you do enough that sort of rapidly increases the steam, which makes the feeling of the heat intensify. She swore to me that the heat doesn't change, but it was already at 75 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty freaking hot. And when that heat from the steam, or when that extra energy from the steam arrived, I was like, so I would last maybe minutes after that would happen, and then I'd have to take a break. So took a break, went and swam in the ocean or the Baltic Sea, and came back and did another round of 15 minutes. And I ended up doing like 3 or 4 rounds of 15 minutes. Most of it calm until the steam arrived, and then I was like done. And actually they got shorter, so it was maybe like 20, 15, 12, and 8, something like that is probably more realistic. But it was lovely. It was like I was dripping buckets of water, and I felt super I don't know what the right word is, energized / refreshed from the whole experience. So, and I'd done this before. I'm not a newbie to the sauna experience, but this was like the first time in a while that I did it like right. And by the way, she kept saying 70, 75 is low. That's like the low end. They like to go up to like 80, 90, 100 degrees C, I think. I don't know. Freaking asbestos skin Finnish people. So that was that experience. And it continued. The evening continued because I went upstairs and watched the finals of the soccer match, and Mina continued her sauna on her own. And then she came up later, and it was a restful night. We both, I think, slept really well that night. We were tired, and after the sauna and the good food. And the next day we packed up and had a good breakfast and enjoyed our time and left. And that was the end of the island.